Good morning and welcome to my podcast that hasn't a name yet and it's not going to be in English, but today it's an exception, so
for a
we'll
special
make it.
person.
Today our guest is Christiane.
Yay! I'm so glad to be at the podcast.
Yay!
I feel so honored.
Yeah, and we are in Greece.
In Santorini. And we're going to tell you what we did here.
Yeah, this is not my last day. My last day is tomorrow, but Christiane is leaving today, so that's why we are recording now. But nothing special will happen tomorrow, I guess, so the funny stories are going to start now.
So, first, we are pen friends. Ines from Portugal and Christian from Austria. And
Yeah.
let's go. It's our first trip, out of Austria and Portugal together.
We met on the internet
Yes.
at a special website
I
for pen
wrote-
friends.
I wrote Ines. It was my
I didn't remember.
I started
that.
a friendship.
Yeah, and then after almost 2 years,
Yeah.
Christian came to Portugal and we saw each other for the first time. And then in the same year, at New Year's Eve, I went to Austria. And then we scheduled this trip last year, but because of Corona, it wasn't possible.
And
So that's why we are here now.
and we tried again, and this year it worked out.
Yeah.
One of my flights got cancelled, that's why I have to leave today instead of tomorrow, but we still had a really good time, as you're going to hear now.
Yeah. So we can just start.
First day was first day.
Yeah. I left Aveiro at midday. No, in the middle of the afternoon to go to Lisbon because that's where I had to catch my flight. And then I had to sleep there because my flight was only in the morning, but I had to go by bus. But it was fine. And I'm able to sleep there because I sleep everywhere.
She sleeps everywhere, let me tell you. I'm always so envious of her.
Yeah, so it was fine. And then I caught my flight to Rome, and I had pizza there, so expensive just for a slice of pizza. And I couldn't find a plug in the airport to charge all my things. And then I caught the flight from Rome to Santorini, and I arrived here at 6 in the afternoon or evening, I don't know. And then I had to wait for Christian.
Yeah, my story's not that extra. I just left at home. I left from Vienna, and I had a direct flight, and I arrived at 11 p.m. So 5 hours after you. And then we had a shuttle.
Yeah, while I was waiting for her, I went to a cafe to eat dinner. I had a Greek sandwich. Yeah.
And
it
then
was nice. It was so hot.
a bus, the shuttle picked us up.
Yes.
And he had a name with a shield with our name. And first I was afraid we were going to disappear with him.
I wasn't.
But he was nice. And
Yeah. But it was already at night, so we traveled for half an hour to get to the hotel, but we didn't saw anything because it was nighttime.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then we checked in. No, we didn't actually. Just in the next morning, but we came to the hotel and we just slept, I guess.
Yeah, nothing exciting.
We bought water because it's so hot here.
Yeah, and we were really motivated. And we also bought something against mosquitoes.
Yes, we made a list because Christian, she was only able to carry her backpack
And
to come here, and me, it was a small suitcase,
Yeah.
not the big ones.
And for girls, it's not easy at all to bring
Yeah.
so little stuff.
Yeah, and because they don't allow large amounts of liquids, we made a list and then
Like we bought something expensive against mosquitoes and we haven't seen like a single mosquito here.
Yeah. And we guess it's because there's no vegetation here, no trees, almost no trees and other things. This is so dry. This island is so dry.
And they don't even have many animals here, like just cats
and that's it.
And donkeys, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first night was hot.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep that well. I woke up with my t-shirt just so wet because it was so hot. I can't handle this. I kept saying this entire holidays that it's so hot and I can't live here like for a living. But well, in the next morning we did the check-in in the hotel and we had our first breakfast here.
And then we decided to go to the beach.
Yeah, to see, because Santorini is an island and we are staying in the south. Our hotel is in the south, which is the beach part. Because to the north, the most known cities are in the north. But they have water, of course, but there are no beaches because it's just like cliffs.
Yes.
So we went to the beach and the sand is dark because it's volcano.
Yeah, it's like black stones, black beaches.
Yeah. And the sand is so hot too.
Yeah, true.
And the water is fine.
But the water is also quite hot, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it's more transparent.
Yeah.
Like it's clean.
And the beaches are not crowded, it's really, they are beautiful beaches.
Yeah, they are not crowded, no. And then we went to do the groceries because we had nothing to...
Hiking.
Okay, yeah. No, before that we went...
Hiking, that's my part.
Whose idea was it? Not for me.
Yeah, but it was really good, you have to say.
Yeah.
We went to a small chapel.
Yeah, then you can see on the vlog because we filmed. It was like in the middle, halfway in the mountain.
And it was like during the day, it was like in the heat.
It was like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it was like 30 degrees and we just went there.
Nothing could stop us from hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also took some photos there.
Yeah.
And we came back and we went to do the groceries.
Yeah.
Because we decided we want to do 1 or 2 meals in a restaurant. But the other days we were just like chilled about food.
Yeah.
And eat just when we were hungry and small things. Because it's so hot that you don't even... I guess.
Yes.
I'm not that hungry here because it's also so hot.
True.
I waste so much energy just eating. And we bought Greek yogurt
and granola and fruits, and this was always a good snack.
Yeah, so we ate that at lunch. It was like at 4.
Yeah, true.
And then we went to the pool, to the hotel pool, to see. It was normal, I guess.
Yeah, a normal pool. And that
yeah, go on.
And then we like planned what we wanted to do in the next days.
Yeah, and like that morning of the day we are talking about, the receptionist, she told us what we could do here in Santorini. So this day we went to see the sunset at a beach called Vlihada, but it was not as nice as we were expecting.
Yeah, she was like, it's my favorite spot on the island, and we were like excited to go there, but kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
No, it was good, but like we expected.
It was really windy, and we had to take the touristic train, but the touristic train was not coming back to Perissa, where we are staying.
And we wanted to see the sunset, and it was not already sunset. And the bus driver, he was like, I'll go back. Or the train driver, he was like, I will go back now. So it's your choice. You go with me, or you I don't know what you're going to
But
do.
even to pick us up here in Parisa, it looked like that he didn't want to do his shift. He's like probably it was the last one of the day, and when we were there and we wanted to buy a ticket, he was like, and I was like, but you can decide when you don't want to work. Like, what the fuck? But then more people came, and he was like, okay. So we came on foot to the hotel. It was like an hour
going back. But it was also nicer than we expected. I think I enjoyed maybe the walk more than the sunset.
Yeah.
It
I
was.
was going to say that.
We talked a lot, and yeah, and then we went to bed.
Yeah, I also ate Greek yogurts when we arrived because I was angry.
That's a thing that we don't have.
That's an issue.
That's an issue we have. Like, in Austria, we have dinner early. And I'm a person, I have dinner, like, even for Austria, I have it early. Like, I eat at 5 p.m. And when do you eat, Ines?
And I eat, like, at 8 at my home, but then there are people there that eat, like, at 9 or 10, so... But I guess the normal time is, like, 8:30.
And then we still have 1 hour time difference. So, like, our eating hours are 1 more hour.
Yeah, like here in Santorini, it's 1 hour after Austria.
Yes, and 2 hours.
1 hour more, and from Portugal it's 2 hours more. So it's just too much logistics. So we just eat randomly during the day.
Yes, like
basically.
But on the first day, I was still keeping strong, and I was like, I'm not gonna eat at 9. That is against my own rules. And so Ines had to eat alone. But I joined her on the balcony, which is our spot where we are also right now.
Yeah.
And it's like our spot for every night.
And to do workouts too.
Ines did workouts.
I did.
I did not.
I had to manage like which days am I going to skip, but then compensate in the future.
Yeah. And also I had a cold coming here, and I was like afraid that I won't be able to enjoy the trip that much because of the cold, because it was camping the day before us. But my cold got better like every day a bit.
Nice. I was normal coming here, and I'm still normal.
Good. That's good. And like that is my reason why I skipped the workouts. Otherwise I would have joined, that's for sure.
Yeah. Giving you excuses to yourself. And then next day we were excited. Now we are going to Saturday, and we were excited about Saturday, right?
Yes, because we booked like a day trip.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an excursion.
Yeah.
And we went by boat to the volcano of Santorini, which is an own island, and it was like also half an hour walk up there.
Yeah, it was called Nea Kameni.
Yes.
And it's still an active volcano, but we are fine, okay? Don't worry. And we had a little hiking around the volcano.
Wait, Ines, can you see the smoke?
What?
The volcano is coming.
Oh. If it was smoke, it would probably be about the fires, because Greece is struggling with fires now.
But on this island,
wildfires.
On this island, there
it's
aren't
impossible.
many trees, so
yeah.
I don't know what is going to burn here.
Yeah, nothing.
And yes, after the volcano, we went to hot springs.
Yeah, hot springs is not like an island again. It's just water.
Yeah.
But basically you just jump out of the boat and to the water, and it's like volcanic water. It's green, kind of green. And
it gets up to 32 degrees.
Yeah, but it was not that warm.
Not when we were there, but...
Yeah, in the volcanic water in Azores, it's much warmer than that.
And then we went to the next island, which is called Tiracia.
Yeah. And we just had like 2 2.5 hours to stay there. And we could either stay at the port, like at the restaurants, fish restaurants, or go all the way up to the mainland of Tiracia.
And we had the good idea to go up.
Yeah.
Most of the people stayed down there, and afterwards I know why they did.
Yeah. It was so hard. It was never finishing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
But it was. Afterwards, we said it was a good decision to go up there.
Yeah, like the land itself, it didn't have anything to see at all.
Yeah.
It looked like it was abandoned or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of, the houses were damaged and
We didn't saw any people, but it was the middle of the day, so yeah.
Yeah, but then we went to a restaurant or a cafe, and we asked for a frappe.
Yeah.
And we just stayed there like for 1 hour and a half, just drinking coffee. But we were tired, and it was so hot.
And we had like a really good view to the sea, so
true.
it was really nice.
And we were recharging because then we had to go all the way down again. But it was easier.
Which we did then, and like we are organized, and we arrived like 2 or 3 minutes before the boat left.
we have British punctuality. So then we were excited to the next place.
Yes, because we also booked in Oya.
Yeah, you could choose if you wanted to go just until Tiracia and then come back to your place, or you could see the sunset in Ia.
Yeah, and then on the boat we sat next to 2 girls, and we started talking, and they were like really nice. And then we saw we are the same age.
Yeah, they were from the United States,
from Chicago. And then we asked them what they study, and me and Ines, like, we are a business student and a medicine student, and they were like the same. One of them basically was medicine and one was business, and
we just kept talking with them.
So if you're gonna listen to a podcast, we send the best wishes to you.
Yeah,
it was nice meeting you.
It was nice. And I really like Europe, so I'm glad I'm living here. But I also like Europe a lot.
Me too.
And then we went to Ia, but it was like, we just had half an hour until the sunset. And it's always so crowded at sunset hours, the main points to see it. So we didn't know if we should go right away there or just wait more time. So we just went on the streets, like walked for a while, and then we went to a supermarket to buy some bread and cheese, and that was our dinner. Dinner at 6.
Then we made away because we wanted like still a good place to watch the sunset, because it's so famous.
And we never know when we are going back.
Yeah, and it was said that Santorini has like the most beautiful sunsets, maybe even of the world.
Yeah.
And after watching this sunset in Ia, I was like, oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we climbed up an old castle, which was known to people to watch the sunset, and we got a really good place. And from there, we ate the sandwiches and enjoyed the sunset.
And we made a lot of videos.
Yeah, but it was so beautiful.
And we filmed a TikTok. Check it out.
Like us making for all the other contents, like watch our vlogs, watch our Instagram.
Yeah. And then we just had like some minutes after the sunset, the guide tour, she said that we just had some minutes to get to the bus and then it will leave. So we just went to the bus then and came home.
Yeah, after this really nice day.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
So, on Sunday, it was not yesterday. On Sunday, we went to Fira, which is like the capital of Santorini. It's the main city here. It's also where the airport is, and we wanted to go to the mass, so we thought like Sunday. And then Christiane, she was searching where we could go to the mass because there's a church here in Parissa, but we didn't find any schedules or times. So we saw the main cathedral were in Theta. So we went there, we caught the bus like in the morning just to go to the mass. But then there is no mass during August because of Corona. They were expecting tourists and visitors, so they just cancelled it for this month.
And we were really stressing ourselves. We were like hiking up the hill really fast to go to church, and then
because the bus they are never on time. Like buses, if they say they are going to arrive at 10, they arrive at like 10:15. It's not even just for a minute. It's so bad. Yeah. I hate it. But so we thought that we were not arriving on time, but then there were no mass. So we just prayed for a bit, and then we went and explored Fira.
Yes, so the streets, they are like really cute, and you have like all the white houses, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, the ones that everyone expects, like from the pictures.
And the panorama is also really good. Like you see, there are some views which are really breathtaking.
Yeah.
And then we decided we wanna like follow the way to a small village, which is not that crowded, but also famous because it's so cute, and it's called Imero Weekly.
Yeah. And you are always surrounded by the sea.
Yeah.
So it was nice, and it didn't take us a long time to get there. Only like 20 minutes.
Yes. First, Ines was not that hyped.
Yeah. But then I was like, yay, let's go. And I wanted to find streets to take photos because I wasn't finding any street. There were only like shops and beds, and they were so crowded. So I was like, no, where do people take photos? And then when we were going there, we saw two girls taking pictures like in a rooftop, a clean white rooftop with a nice view. And we were like, oh, if they are there and the gate is open, we can go. So we went and we took some good shots, at least for me.
Yeah, they were like really good.
And then when I was taking Christiane in the middle, a man came and he was like, this is private, you cannot be here. And I was like, but the gate is open and we saw people here. And then we apologized and we just
went
away. Run away. Yeah.
And then we passed the girls again, which were taking photos there, and suddenly I saw something on the floor.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is money. And of course I was going to take it, and I took it, and first I was like, oh, this is like 50 euros. And
it might belong to the girls.
Yeah.
But then
we didn't know, and we thought if we are going to ask the girl, like, is this your money?
They are going to say yes. Especially for 50 euros. It's like
everybody would take it. And so we were like confused about what should we do now.
Yeah, and we were like, since we are going to Merovili, if we see someone like struggling, someone is like finding and searching for anything on the floor, then we will think. But if we don't, we just keep the money to ourselves. But I thought it was 50 euros, like it's a lot too. But then Christiane, she asked me, how much do you think is it? And I was like 50 because I saw, but then there were like two of them. So it was like 100 euros on the floor
lying there
in Santorini.
And we were like, okay, this is God's plan. Because we wanted to go to Mass, and we were like, okay, wow, this is like I've never found that much money on the floor. Like €2 maybe, but not 100. And then we thought about what to do with it, and we decided to give half of it to an organization for poor people or for poor children in Africa. And in Asia it's called Mary's Meals, and we'll spend like €50 for them. And the other €50, let's not gonna talk about it.
We are going to talk about it but later. But I can put the website of Mary's Meals like down in the description, so you can take a look. And then we just kept walking until we reached Imerovigli, but we couldn't believe it, and so we were like, what? We're so lucky. And then we went there. I really liked it. I'm glad we went there because there were so many white houses, as Santorini is known for, but they were so... First, it was so calm.
Yeah, it was like super cute. And the streets, they were even smaller.
And they were so clean.
Yeah.
And I think that most of them were hotels, because here hotels, they are not big buildings, not even the most expensive ones. They are small houses, because you cannot build. So you damage the landscape, and I don't know, maybe because of the eating, but it was nice to go there. We made some videos.
Yeah, and also some interesting facts. Like in the big cities, the hotels are so much more expensive. And for example, if you want to sleep in here for one night and you have the view, the best view of the houses, you pay like €1,000 a night. In the hotel. So,
and like the pools, they are really tiny, but they are so beautiful. Yeah. And like you are at the pool,
infinity pools,
but then you can see the sea from up there. But honestly, I'm glad we are staying in the south, like in a beach area.
Yeah.
Because we can still enjoy the beach, and we don't have to take the bus. We can just walk there because it's like 2 minutes. And but we can visit the main cities, and it's not that expensive to take the bus to there. Because the girls we met at the boat, they were at Fira. They were staying in Fira, and at first we also thought about staying there or at a different place, but then, like, if we have stayed there, we could visit where we were staying, but then we had to catch the bus to go to the beach, go to sunset in here, so it wouldn't be that relaxing, because we are here to relax because we are on holidays and we just finished our university here, but we don't know if we are coming back. So we also wanted to visit some places.
True.
And we were able to do both. So we went to Imerovigli, and then we had to go back to Fira.
And on the way back, we took a rest. Like, there was a restaurant which was closed. And, of course, Ines slept there.
Yeah, like the restaurant was closed, but not the open space. Like the tables outside, you could sit there.
So it wasn't forbidden.
Yeah.
And I went, and we had like a really good rest, I think.
Yeah, we say like 1 hour and a half.
Yes, maybe. Or 2, I think also, because it was like in the hot time. It was just to relax, to get energy filled up, because we spent like the whole day in Fira.
Yeah.
And then we decided to have a late lunch at a restaurant, and we wanted it, of course, with this specific view.
Like we were already thinking about having lunch in a restaurant in Fira, but then when we found the money, we just decided we wanted to have lunch with like a panoramic view in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So we just picked one.
And we decided we used the other 50 euros to have like a really nice lunch.
Yes.
Which we had.
So, and we wanted to eat Greek food. So we went to the restaurant and we picked souvlaki tacos, like souvlaki tacos, chicken tacos.
And afterwards we decided to both have like a chocolate lava cake.
Yeah, that's not Greek at all, but yes, it is because of the volcano.
They called it like Greek lava cake or something like that because it was like with vanilla ice cream. I mean, every country could have named something after them.
And it had caramel, salty caramel, so it was... When we tasted it, and the outside of the lava cake was crunchy.
Yeah. So
it was so... I can still taste it.
Me too. It was like... This moment was one of my 3 favorite moments ever on this island. Because we just sat there and we were so fascinated, and we got like the desk with the best view, and the waiter, he was so friendly, and we felt like princesses. And then Ines, it was so funny. She was like taking a bite of the lava cake, and she was like, "This is the beginning of our rich life."
Yeah, like I'm going to be a powerful, I don't know, CEO, and Christiane, even if it's not a powerful doctor, doctors still earn much money. So. But she's going to be a powerful doctor.
That's nice.
So we just ate like slowly to enjoy the food, and then we sat for a while. Then we took some photos. I took some. And then.
Yeah, we decided to go back and like buy some things maybe on the way.
Yeah, because I wanted to buy some souvenirs. Hi friends, did you like my souvenirs? Yeah.
Comment below. And then we started talking about, because we think like the most touristic people here are the Germans. We saw a lot of Germans and also Italian.
And
French. These were the 3 main things we saw. And we were talking about what do people think that we are. Because we speak English, but I have an accent.
And I have too.
And Ines too. And so we were like, what will people think where we are from? And also from our looks.
Yeah, because I think no one is expecting 2 different nationalities.
Yes.
So we came up that we think we can relate to Italian people because we are not white. We don't have white skin. And
then Ines said, today I'm gonna be Italian. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, so because when we went and buy the souvenirs, sometimes people asked us where we are from. And so that day we said Italian.
Like the shop owner, he asked us, where are you from? And for 5 seconds we were like, silent.
Should we say the truth?
And we looked at each other, and then I was like, Italian.
Yeah.
And he was like,
and he was like so excited. He was like, yeah. And I was, if I said I was Portuguese, he would be like, oh, not interested.
No. He was nice. So
and then we went to another shop of souvenirs, and he was there.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Like the shop, they had many different places of one shop.
And then we wanted to see the sunset in Fira too, because it's not as beautiful as in Ia, but it's also really beautiful. But we had to make it like at 8 until 8:30, and it was only like 5.
Yeah, no, a little bit later.
Yeah, it was like 5:36, and Christian and I too. We were a little tired.
Yeah.
Because we like every day besides yesterday, because we just stayed at the beach, we walked like 10 kilometers minimum.
Yeah. And mostly we didn't thought that Santorini has this many hills.
Yeah.
It was not just straight walking, it was up and down.
Even like inside the islands. So we just sat in the middle of a square to see, like, until it was time to see the sunset, and we were just on our phones and just relaxing, because Christian, she was tired but she couldn't sleep in open spaces as I do, so yeah. And then we saw the sunset. It was really nice. Christian took pictures of me and I really liked it. And I was wearing a really beautiful dress of my friend's shop, and it really matched the day.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because that day we wore our best outfits and we think people were nice to us because of that.
Yeah, true.
But then we were like, no, let's not take more pictures because then they are all going to be with the same outfits. And then we saw the sunset and we caught the bus again to Parisa, to the hotel.
And we got the last, we got the last two places in the bus to sit.
Yeah, true. We had to be separated, but at least we...
God's plan again.
God's plan.
This was our day, like everything went the way we wanted
perfectly.
it.
Nothing was going wrong.
No, nothing at all. So good.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't that way, things would be perfectly too, but we just felt that really hard that day. And then, but I was so pissed because I don't know, but I find Greek people so not organized, and like buses, they are, I think, the main transport for people to get to a place here, and everything is just so messy, like the bus drivers, even the stations. I'm like, what? Because this is so touristic, they could make some improvements on that. But I guess if no one complains, they will just remain the same. I don't know.
Yeah, and some buses, they stop at certain places and the next one doesn't stop. So it's not sure if the bus is going to stop at this place. And you're like, should I go to one place where I'm sure that he will stop? Yeah,
if like they come late, sometimes they don't stop. And sometimes like you are waiting at the bus station, but if the bus driver sees more people like 100 meters afterwards, he would stop there, not in the bus station. So it's just unpredictable. So now that we have to go to the airport these days, we are just kind of going earlier because we don't know what might happen.
Yeah.
But then we came, but then I don't know how, but Christian managed to still be awake for more than an hour.
As I was at the sunset, I was already like halfway sleeping, but then I was active again in the evening.
Yeah, and we finished our Greek yogurt with granola.
Sat at the balcony as always.
Yeah. And then it was that. And then yesterday, because when we were planning we didn't plan the trip before because we were busy with university, and I guess we also just wanted to go with the flow and do like late minute plans.
Yes, and see what things are offered to us, what things we enjoy, and don't stress ourselves.
Yeah. So when we got here on the first day, we were just like, okay, we could do the boat trip and see the main cities on the first days, and then we just rest and enjoy that we have an hotel near the beach. And that's what we did yesterday. We woke up and then we went to the beach, right?
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's so hot. Like today we were at the beach at 7 a.m. and we were already burning.
But I'm supposed, in Austria it's much colder than Portugal, so I was thinking I will be the one who is bothered by the hot more.
Yeah, but I guess it's me.
It's you.
I'm always complaining.
It's not, because there's still always, it's windy, and I love it. So for me the weather is perfect, also because of my cold. It's like really good for me, but
I'm always dying.
And you should see Ines, she's like really tanned. Like really, really tanned.
Yeah, you can see our Instagram account and decide if we are tender or not. But we went to the beach, and then we came home, and we still had some bread and cheese from the sunset at Ia. So we finished that too, because now these are our last days. So we wanted to finish the food and the things we had at the fridge, and we brought some eggs from the breakfast because we paid for it. So, and we ate that with rice toast and the bread, and then we went to the pool. We sometimes after lunch we rested a little bit at our rooms because it was really hot. Like, I think since like the temperature you feel on your body, it's like 36 degrees during the day, so it's really hot. And then we went to the pool.
And we forgot one thing about Sunday.
What?
Like, when we got home, we went to the hotel and everything went so good for us. And then the woman at the reception, when we asked for the keys, we asked for the keys back, and she was like, number 3, okay, but she was like, today it was really loud in your room, so some people said that they wonder why our room is so loud. And we were afraid because we thought, have we been robbed? Has someone taken all of our stuff? It was night when we arrived because the sunset was 2 hours ago. So I would have loved to ask the woman at the reception to like come with us, because I was so afraid.
And like, we always made sure when we left our room that the balcony door is closed, because we are on the first floor, so it's really easy for people to climb the wall at the balcony and just get in our room. And we made sure that they, especially because we were in Parisa, and when she said, some people complained about the huge noise at your room, we were like, no, this day was so perfect. And even if it wasn't like that was, and we didn't leave our valuable stuff here, but still I like my clothes. But then we got in and it was just normal, so probably it wasn't in our room.
So,
or maybe it was when the lady was cleaning our room, I don't know.
It was a good luck day, so nice for us. Okay, so back to Monday. The pool. We were at the pool. Afterwards, we wanted to have dinner.
When we were at the pool, I slept basically all the time, and we were like 2 hours there. And then when we come to the room to get dressed for the dinner, Christiane had her beach towel wet, and I was like, why is it wet? Because we were just laying on our towels, and she was like, I went to the pool. And I was like, what? I didn't even notice. So
and it's so unfair because, of course, when Ines sleeps so much hours during the day, she's not tired in the evening. And in the evening, like, it's the best times out on the balcony. So, of course, I'm not going to sleep that early. So I think I'm so many hours of sleep behind you because I just can't use the day.
This is a natural talent. I think I should go to like a program or something, a show, and just sleep on the stage. And then we still had 10 euros. We didn't talk about that. So I thought when we were in Ia and Fira, we saw some people eating like ice cream, but the cone was black. And I was like, I don't know, I have this idea. Maybe I read it like on a sign, but it's not even true. I thought it was special Greek ice cream.
And she told me, she was like, Christian, we have to get that special Greek ice cream. And I was like, okay, let's go, because we still have 10 euros left of the money 50 we found. And then we were like, okay, so finding some ice cream, but they don't have black cones. Next ice cream, they don't have black cones. And we worked like for almost 30 minutes. And I was like, Ines, I've never heard of the black cones. Are you sure?
And then I started realizing, like, probably this is something I dreamed about or something. So I searched on the internet and I found nothing. So we were just like, now we have this desire for ice cream and we still have the money. So I guess we are just going to eat a normal ice cream, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
I ate, like, the flavor I chose was Greek yogurt.
And mine was like cookie crisp. Yeah.
And that's it. And then we wanted to have dinner because since we are in a town near the beach, there are lots of restaurants with the beach view, but like with the sand, not in the cliff as in Fira, but at the same level as the sea or the sand.
Yeah.
So we chose one.
We were the first one eating there because we were there at 6:30, I guess.
Yeah, because we had to manage like when do we want to go and have dinner because of our schedule times of having dinner. So I was just like, okay, we can have it at that time.
Yeah.
And then we dressed up our dresses and we put some makeup on. And we were just vibing. And we were like, since we are going to eat this early, then we could still take photos at the sunset.
Yeah, that was the plan.
But not this time. It was not God's plan, but it was. You know?
Yeah.
So we ate chicken gyros, and Christian eats pork instead of chicken. And then we ate a waffle.
Yeah.
We shared because
and
it was so big.
It was a lot of food, so we
It
were
was a lot
really
of food.
full after that.
But it was our real meal during these holidays. And then we just walked at night here and we took some photos, but we thought they were not good. We were like, no, let's just give up. Today it's not working. And then when we came to the hotel, we were like sending each other the photos. And then I was like, oh, I like them.
Yeah, I like mine too, so
God's plan.
Instagram.
This is like what our phrase, our sentence, our iconic sentence from these holidays is God's plan.
And
everything.
faith about everything, because trust.
And
in
also
the
everything happens for a reason. So cheesy, all of them, but they fit in every moment.
Okay, then we also watched the sunset in Parisa. And then we went home and had our balcony evening like every day.
Yeah, but we had this idea, like when we got in Santorini the first day, we were sharing what we wanted to do. And I said I wanted to go to a night swim at the beach, and then Christian said she would like to see the sunrise. So we decided that in the last day, which is today, basically for Christian, we would go to see the sunrise, but we would go earlier and we would take that night swim. So when we got to the hotel yesterday, we just sat at the balcony for a few times and then we went right sleeping, because today we woke up at 5:30 to go to the beach. The sunrise was at 6:30, and then we did all of that.
That was nice.
Are you okay?
Yes. And then I'm okay. And then we had like a nap afterwards on the beach because we were tired from getting up that early.
Yeah, like we laid on the beach beds that you have to pay 10 euros per day, but we were like, this is not even opened yet, so we guess we can take. But then it was like 7 o'clock and also there were more people there, but no one complained about, so we were just really chilling there. I really liked it today. I think nice. It was one of my best moments here. I really liked it. And we read and we slept and then we read again.
Then we went back, had breakfast, and I started packing my stuff. And now I have to leave soon. In 2 hours my bus goes, which is too sad.
Yeah, so now we are just going to enjoy the pool for an hour more or something. And then Christian goes finally. And
you're so mean.
I just have like 24 hours more, but I'll guess I'll do the same things, go to the beach and go to the pool, and that's it, I guess. Just some ideas and thoughts you had here, like. So, my feedback from this island. I can't live here. I don't know what are the temperatures during the year. Besides normal here to be this hot, at least for so long. That's why Greece is also struggling with wildfires. But yes, because I'm always thinking I'm fine here and I'm really enjoying these holidays. But I cannot be productive here. If I had to study or like live normally, I couldn't.
Yeah.
At least with our hotel air conditioning, like
not working.
We are always dying at night. Always. It's so hot, like there are like 28 degrees. It cannot be like less. And one night we had a nightmare in the same night, and I spoke.
And I woke up because of my nightmare, and I was like, I can't sleep anymore. So I stayed up for almost 1 hour, and suddenly Ines started speaking. It was just like one word. But
I was speaking like during I was sleeping.
And then you woke up.
And then I said I was having a nightmare, so we were like, okay.
Same night.
Nightmare night. But it's nice. I liked it. I don't regret like visiting Santorini. I really liked it, and I think I'm also really enjoying it because I was like waiting for this for so long, and now I finished university and some of my main goals for this year. So I'm just like at peace now.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that, but I deserve this. I guess we both deserve these holidays.
My feedback from these holidays is I need to learn how to sleep everywhere. And
improvements we have to make for next future.
But it was. I don't think I'll visit this island ever again because there are just so many other places I want to visit, and we saw like all the most known things. But I can say that I will always look back at this holiday and be like, those good times in Santorini with Ines. That was some nice.
Yeah, I think so too, because even Greece has so many islands. I guess we saw everything we could, and we saw the main things. And about the people, I don't find them very friendly or kind. Maybe because of this eating, no one can be friendly because I'm always complaining. And also maybe they are tired of so many tourists. I don't know, but I don't find them very friendly. But I guess I came from Portugal, so people there are really friendly.
I'm not that surprised by the people because I guess people in Austria are not as nice as they are in Portugal. I mean, they are, but not to people they don't know.
Yeah, but like when I got here, when I was waiting for so long at the airport for Christian, and I saw the men from the transfers that the men that were driving people to the hotels from the airport. When I got there, I was like, I never thought about this, but this is just how I imagine Greek men or people. I was like, this is it. I don't know if you can relate, but they were just how I imagined them to be. But I've never thought about that before. But I guess these are the main ideas and thoughts. I liked it, and I thought we made good decisions like during the plan.
Yeah, and also coming here, it was a really good place to go, and so if somebody thinks about coming here, we can just recommend. And
Yeah, because we struggled for some time because we had to manage our flights the way that we could get here in the same day, and especially if we could arrange like the same time, the same hours. And in the beginning we were able to do that, but then not God's plan, or God's plan, I don't know, but Christian, all her flights were cancelled, like almost every flight. So that's why she's leaving one day earlier, but that's fine. We managed. And that's it. We are going to post a vlog on YouTube with all of our shooting and all of our routine during the days. And that's it. And just the last thought, it's really weird because now we never know when we are going to see each other again.
Yeah.
It's always the same thing when we have to say goodbye, because it's not like when you are with your regular friends, like your friends that you have in your hometown. You know that you are going to see them tomorrow or in a week, but you know that for sure. And this is just like uncertainty.
Like we already saw when now there was COVID, we couldn't meet for like 1.5 years. So
almost 2, yeah. No, just 1.
But we'll have another trip, and let's hope Corona will not be that bad again next summer, and then we'll have a nice trip to a new country.
Yeah, and we also recommend you to get a pen friend.
Yeah.
We can recommend the website, we can put down below. And yeah, it's nice. We don't write letters anymore, if anyone's wondering, of course.
Once we added each other on Snapchat and Instagram and everywhere, we were like
just normal people again.
Just like having a friend on another place on the world, which feels really nice.
Yeah, and sometimes we write like on Christmas, but that's because just for the fun of it, not because we can do the other way. But that's it.
So, our recommendations: get a pen friend, go to Santorini, and follow God's plan. Trust God's plan.
Main thoughts. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.